Okay, I need your attention. The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Now, it's officially confirmed. Reliability or durability is going to be the part of the team that is affected by the reg change, which is a little bit disappointing. I was hoping for performances to be, cut down a bit and give us a chance to overtake other teams. However, we'll take it as it is. It's an opportunity and we intend to take it. Now, all the general wear upgrades are going to be affected. Also, the upgrades that we've purchased up until this point. However, we are fortunate enough that we have quite a few R&D points, and those upgrades that we already own are actually really cheap to save. So we've already managed to protect all the upgrades affected for next season, which means we can keep developing and keep improving the car heading into season 2. Now you can see in the background we have the confirmation of the mechanical failure from the last episode, which did really annoy me. If you haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out, link up in the top right. But you can see also we have a bunch of upgrades on the car this weekend, and we've got one more to arrive along with what would be pretty much it for upgrades for now. Obviously, now that we know we can still improve the car with the regulation change, now we will keep pushing forward and we'll keep developing the car, because we may have an opportunity now because of what this presents to us. So yeah, this weekend we're doing USA, and I've done some time trial actually, and I got 13th in the world, which was pretty damn insane on PC, just behind a bunch of F1 esports drivers. I was really happy about that. So the pace was good here, and this is usually one of my worst tracks, but the setup I'm using is really, really good, to the point where it's actually not a public setup because it belongs to an esports team. So yeah, with that kind of out of the way, unfortunately I can't show it, but take my words for it, and that's going to help us along quite nicely this weekend, as we had a pretty decent start to practice, as we got a green score in the tyre management. We then move into the race strategy, and as we have been doing lately with these programs, we're using the hard tyre because it's become a pretty good race tyre for us in recent times, and I want to get a more accurate reading on this tyre for race trim. You can see here up to the line we do indeed get a purple score and a maximum 50 points. With that done, we now look at the telemetry. You can see we were just above target on tyre wear. Pace wise, very strong, about a full second up on the average lap time, so that's always very encouraging. We then move into the qualifying performance test, and just like last time in Japan, even though we're up on the delta, if you look at the target lap time on the right, we actually miss out and get a red score. So for the second race in a row, I don't know why we keep getting this unrealistic delta, which means basically nothing because we're not actually beating the lap time that's being set out to us. That aside, you can see the telemetry, the pace is still decent and the car is working well. We finished FP1 in P5, less than 3/10 off P1 and a couple of seconds quicker than our teammates, so the pace was encouraging. This was done on, I believe, 105 AI, so I'm going to bump it up to 106 for the race. I've learnt my lesson. We're not going to try 108 because it's too much. So 106 for this one, and we are taking a brand new engine, guys. We're going to just take the plunge and take the hit because the engine failure last time pretty much hamstrung us to a change anyway. So we're going to take it this race and start from the back of the grid. So as you can see in the background, we've got a bunch of upgrade discounts going on for multiple areas of the car, durability, engine. Also, it looks like I'd like to get some of these on the aero if possible, but for now it seems like only engine related stuff is being discounted. But yeah, we're going to start this race from the back of the grid. 30 place grid penalty, brand new engine, hopefully the last one of the season. Hopefully the last engine failure was the one in the last race, and we can just have a nice smooth end to the season and hope for some decent points. So yeah guys, that's it for practice and the update for the reg change. We're now going to move into the race and entirely skip qualifying.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself, 14 miles southeast of the city centre, has been home to the US Grand Prix since 2012, the latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We're racing then today in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of this wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles per hour here today, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo and Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Magnussen, Verstappen and Alex Albon, Stroll, Russell, Pierre Gasly and Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Aitken, Joe, Esteban Ocon, they've taken a grid penalty, and Sebastian Vettel, Latifi, Tsunoda, Martinez and Mick Schumacher. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now then, it's time for the race here at COTA. P21 on the grid. This time we're not benefiting from any major penalties, and we've got all the work to do from the back of the grid. Now we're starting on the clean side. If that makes any difference, who knows, but hopefully a decent race ahead of us. We're going to be starting on the hard tyre and then moving to a set of mediums. I've done a social race for PSGL last night, and I've done this strategy, and it worked out okay. So if we can make the hard tyre work, the medium is going to be very strong later on. So fuel-wise, I'm going to go 0.6, and we're going to see if this more or less can work out for us. If we can stay in the race and stay competitive on the hard tyre, then the second half of the race should be quite fun. So let's get into it, and let's see if we can have a decent start. Right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get this race underway, and hopefully a decent result comes from it. 106 AI, the lowest we've ran in a while. I hope that might help us out a little bit and keep things a bit more realistic on the pace front. Rear tyre burnout, just to make sure we get some nice rear tyre temp. Going to get a bit more front temp while I can. And let's line her up, and let's do this. Easy does it, don't stop. There we go, perfect. Right, let's get into it. Full send. Pretty similar getaway for everyone, more or less. No one really getting a good or a bad start. Up towards turn 1, Schumacher trying to go around our outside. I'm going to instead go around the outside of multiple cars. That's always the way to go around here. And look at that, we're up to P17, P18, 3 abreast I think. No, we're too wide with Ocon as we head into the S section. I'm going to back off here and let the AI fall in line and go single file. Oh my god. Whoa. Oh no, damn it. Have we got damage? I need to find out.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
Okay, we're still alive. Not ideal. The way the AI just took that corner, man. Oh, that's annoying. Let's push on though. We won't lose too much time. We should be able to recover quite quickly. Especially lap 1 AI pace. They're usually pretty slow. Surprising. Aitken's in. I didn't see him get damaged, but fair enough. Unfortunately, he's the only car that got damage on that lap, which is amazing. So both of our cars caught up in some form of an incident on the opening lap, which is extremely unfortunate. So yeah, Aitken forced a 2-stop. Let's crack on though. Gap to Schumacher 4.2. It hasn't come down in the 3rd sector, so AI now running at full pace. So we're going to see what our true pace really is. 4/10 quicker on that lap than the previous one, so we're picking up the pace and responding, but we did lose time on that lap to the cars ahead just because the entire pack is near enough in a DRS train, although there are some breakups starting to happen as the battles also starting to happen now. Latifi and Schumacher battling away. These are the opportunities we need to try and make some progress and get back in the pack. I'm struggling with the rear tyres a little bit. The temperature's again a bit hot. I'm having to manage it on the hard, so that could be a concern for the medium tyre. My tyre pressure's maybe a bit too high. Not really ideal. Never really had that before on the hard tyre, but just starting to struggle on rear track, and I've pushed my diff back down to 53, which is pretty damn low. Just trying to control the rear slip. I'm still lacking just a bit of pace though. Although the pace isn't terrible, this is definitely an improvement. The best the pace has been because I'm not losing time, relatively speaking, to someone on a hard tire. I just wish I was in that pack. If I was in that pack in the DRS, I'd be fine. This race, I'd be competitive, and then we've got the mediums that arrive after this. I just need to try and close the gap. I need a safety car or something, or a bit of luck, an incident or something.
Yellow flag.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what this is. Back to green now, I think. That yellow didn't last very long. Never mind. Wherever it was, I think it's a McLaren. Miles going for a spin. Looking at the mini-map, but no safety car or anything, no incident, no damage. This has turned into a bit of a boring race, I can't lie. Nothing's happening. I'm matching my personal best, but all for nothing really. It's not really making up any ground. I will say, pace is good compared to our teammate.
And Jack is in the pits. Jack is in the pits.
Speaking of the devil, into the pit lane for our second stop and final stop, I'd assume. But yeah, the pace is good compared to Aiken. It's just maybe we just lack a bit of pace as a team around here. Maybe the reality of the R&D chart is starting to show, and this circuit highlights our weaknesses. First warning for track limits as well. So Guan Yu in the pit lane, first car to bite the bullet. Possible damage. That's a slightly earlier stop than you'd expect for the hard tire. Pit stops should be starting soon, and that would really hurt us now. If we had a slow stop or a pit stop mistake this race, that's it. I mean, we've actually got half a chance this race to fight back on the medium. But if we have a pit stop error, that's it, forget it. Finally, cars in the pits, a bit of action. I'm trying to save battery.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
I'm only half a second off my PB without using any ERS, which isn't too bad. Trying to recharge and combine that with my pit stop so that I've got mostly a full charge when I start my charge back on the medium. Look at that Albon, man. He's already rejoined just behind us in a Williams, nearly a full pit stop ahead. Painful. Very, very painful. Knowing where we could have been this race. The pace is actually decent, but even still, I'm actually matching Aiken's pace and he's on a fresh hard tire, so there wasn't a lot of pace in this car this weekend. It does kind of feel like it's a reality check, and we were meant to be quick around here. Now the remaining cars should be in, so we're getting a few more places. Let's see if we get clear track. Looks like we're going to rejoin just behind Russell, who'll be on cold tyres. We might just nab some DRS on the back straight. Albon already getting the pace up and starting to close in on us. Ricardo also not too far behind him. Albon's going to get us here. Look at that. Wow, that is depressing. No answer for that straight line speed. Even if I did decide to use ERS.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Just double checking as the skies are getting a bit dark. Looks like we will hold on to DRS for another DRS zone here. But Ricardo won't take long to get by it. And I won't defend too hard versus Daniel if he does get the run. He's going to get the run here. Just don't trust the AI, man. They're just terrible at racing. Time lost everywhere. Here comes Seb. He's going to be next to get past here. We'll stay ahead into the hairpin, but he'll eat me up on the straight as I don't have DRS on Ricardo. So if I wouldn't rule Stroll out getting the run on me somehow. Well, there goes Seb. We're going to box this lap, so we'll just tuck in for a slipstream. And then we'll see what we can do in the mediums, man. Look at that train of cars behind. Absolutely massive. Loads of cars in there. All we need is some battling. If there was a late safety car, any time now would be great. Because we'll have a tyre advantage, and I think I could actually do some damage with it for a change. Anyway, let's box. Stroll made a mistake there, otherwise he would have got the run on me, so luckily we will stay ahead. Managed to get some decent recharge, up to 45% battery, so that's good. We now add on, of course, the pit stop, and we'll gain a bit more. So let's do it. Usually does it on the pit entry, be careful with the understeer. They've moved the pit entry a bit further forward this year, so don't let that catch you out. Right, mediums. We'll go down and click on the downforce to try and get a bit more straight line speed, but I mean, it's not going to make much of a difference. Please, just a nice, smooth stop. Lovely. Right, 2.5. Let's crack on then.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Try and get these tyres to work ASAP and get back on it. No points on the table, but there's definitely places to gain if we can make these tyres work. Personal best into the 35s. Not bad. Less than a second off the fastest lap, I think, or about a second off. Not bad at all. Pace is decent. We're gaining on the cars ahead. The issue is we're just dropping like half a second, 6/10 per lap in DRS zones. That's the way it goes. Here we go. Yellow flag on the back straight. We haven't had a safety car in a while.
Caution, caution.
Lance Stroll.
Got information on Stroll. Okay, they're out of this race.
Come on, make this race interesting.
Green flag.
Haven't had a safety car in a minute, please. No? Okay, never mind. Safety car doesn't want to turn up. Damn it, just give me a slice of luck. I'm begging, please. Didn't really gain much on that lap. Only 3/10 off my PB, but it feels like Zhou Guanyu and Mick Schumacher picked up their pace a bit. They are closing in on cars ahead who are battling, so the field is bunching up. I just hope my tyres hold on long enough that we can catch up and have some, some decent battles. Oh great, ERS failure. My team just does not stop surprising me. ERS ain't working, I'm spamming the button, nothing's happening. It's going to force me to save up battery, which is fine, but I need it to catch up. By the time I get the battery back, I better run out of tyres. That's what's going to happen. Oh, it's not working. There we go, we're back. Thank God that was only a short issue. Closing in now, we've got 4 cars ahead of us. I'd just like to see some battling in. That would help me just get close. Good progress over the last lap. I think one of these cars might have wing damage. Oh, I broke myself there. We didn't quite get DRS, but we'll have it hopefully soon. And now the action can begin. We've got a decent amount of battery left over. ERS consumption hasn't been that high around here, so let's see. Hopefully the tyres hold on. We've got 27 on the right front.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
It's go time. Let's try and make something happen here. So Guanyu going for the move on Latifi into turn 1. Latifi with the cutback. Latifi definitely is the slow car here, the cork in the bottle. And they're still going for it. It's going to get spicy. Here we go, we're arriving on the scene now. Zhou Guanyu has got ahead. And Schumacher runs it in wide. We're going to sweep around the outside and take that. Small mistake from Schumacher there. Not the woods yet, though we know about the straight line speed. I'm going to try and see if I can get Latifi on the straight, although I'm pretty unsure it's going to happen. We do have plenty of charge. Well, actually, we're hanging in there. I don't really want to drain all my battery, but you know what? Oh my god. Whoa, Latifi hits the side of Zhou Guanyu. We're going to just got the inside and waste no time there. Latifi without a wing. Let's go, baby. P18. Now we're getting some overtakes. We're getting a bit of action here. Let's get P17 and P16 as well.
An incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
I can see that. Don't worry, mate. I'm on it, Elvis. Just running out of tyres and battery now, and I'm just starting to get into the thick of it. I think the Zhou might have DRS. Yes, he does. That's not ideal. I was going to go for the move, but Guanyu Zhou having DRS isn't going to help us, so we're going to have to wait. Maybe he can battle.
2 laps of fuel left.
Maybe he can have a scrap with Sonoda, and then an opportunity may present itself. But without ERS on dying tyres now, we're not going to make much happen. Another warning for track limits. Latifi fastest lap. Crazy. Trying to see if I can stay close. I feel like Zhou Guanyu's going to go for the move any second now, but I'm trying to just hang back and just hold a little bit of battery on side for when I really need to deploy it. The tyres are still kind of just about holding on, even though I can feel the wear. I'm able to stay competitive. Hamilton wins it in style, fastest lap on the last lap. Meanwhile, Schumacher's back in the mix, and I'm not too convinced I'll stay ahead. I don't have the battery or the straight line speed, so Schumacher could genuinely snatch this away from us. Look at the speed of the Haas. So much battery. I've got no answer to that. I'm out. Luckily we've got the inside line so I can defend easily. Joe wasn't able to go for the move on Yuki, so that's the end of that battle. The AlphaTauri found a bit of pace in the closing stages. So that's pretty much it. You know what, I'll take a P18, I don't mind. Decent recovery. Had I not spun, could have been a much better race, but that's the way it goes. I just can't wait for next season. I just want to get the season done, over, forget about it. Easy does it through the final couple of corners. And there we go. Job done, checkered flag, 18th place. On to the next one.
And that's the end of the race. See you in Parc Fermé.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Right, so job done for us in USA. We'll take that. Decent performance considering the circumstances. Hamilton though with a massive win. Leclerc second, 18 points off Hamilton. He was ahead at some point, so I believe maybe Leclerc got damage, possibly, because those two were battling for the lead at one point. I saw on the mini-map. Hamilton, fastest lap, very, very convincing pace from the 7-time world champion. Lando on the podium, P3 ahead of Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso in the top 5. Then it's Bottas, Magnussen, Verstappen, Russell and Ricciardo. So crucially, Williams and Aston Martin in the form of Albon and Vettel miss out on points, which is great. Perez also misses out along with Ocon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Guan Yu, myself, Schumacher, Latifi, Aitken, and then Stroll out of the race. Standings wise, Alonso up to 8th, overtaking Mick Schumacher. Leclerc still 22 points clear with 3 races remaining, and we're still P15, 2 points ahead of Albon, 4 ahead of Gasly, and then in the constructors, we're still 9th, and we've still got that 2-point cushion of AlphaTauri and those 3 points over Williams. So let's see what happens, man. It's going to go down to the wire. We've protected all the upgrades, so we can keep pushing forward. So we're going to keep upgrading and keep getting to work. So let's do that, and let's get back into the menu. Now then, only 3 days until the next race. Short turnaround before Mexico. We've got an engine cover upgrade arriving, so that's good to know. Activities will go for reaction training to keep Jack sharp. We get an extra 160 points for the ERS failure in the race, which is good. So it just feels like if I don't get taken out, or if I don't have an ERS failure, or if I don't have a pit stop error, there's always something that's happening every single race that's just screwed me over. But yeah, that aside, we've got nearly $5 million. Now I would invest in facilities, but I also kind of want to look at a decent teammate for next season. So I kind of want to save up. Let's quickly confirm. So durability, we have now protected all the parts. You can see in the bottom right, 0 parts remaining. So it's good to know. We're not going to buy any of these upgrades because it just means you have to basically buy them again to protect them. It makes no sense. It's just counterproductive. What we can do though is elsewhere look at other options. Now, engine power, cylinder head, 20% discount. Tasty option. We'll consider that. Let's double check. Magnetic compound for the ERS, ECU for the fuel. On the chassis, heave dampers for tyre wear, that's all we have available. On the aero, rear wing upper flap unlocked. DRS activation mechanism for more top end speed. I'm waiting for a discount on the tertiary wing flaps to really, try and buy that. I think we're going to go for the cylinder head. We'll get that on, and that leaves me 1100 points, which is enough to get the heave dampers. But do I want to invest points in that? I'd rather go for performance if I can, so we'll go for the DRS activation mechanism and keep some points back in case we have failures. So yeah, I think we're looking good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to spend $1 million on pit equipment to not have any errors, because I'm getting sick and tired of that. So we'll drop $1 million on that. That aside, we're good to go. Let's move to Mexico. Right, time for Mexico. That'll be next. For now though, let's confirm really quickly the engine cover has arrived, and that is for weight redistribution. So as it stands right now, we have 2 upgrades on the way, 1 major, 1 minor. If they arrive, we overtake Williams. Simple as that. You can see we've got a bit of progress made, but we need to close the gap, and hopefully, if other teams focus on durability, you know, in terms of the reg change for next year, it might open up a window for us to catch up a little bit in the last few races if they focus on, you know, saving points for the reg change, as we've already taken care of it. So that might give us a small window to close in a little bit. Either way, that's it guys for this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily F1 content. I can't wait for next season, man. Big plans, big opportunity, and I'm hungry to try and do better. As always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, and that's goodbye from me.